Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of our weekly podcast, Get Off the Damn Fence. That's right. Larry Caution here, co-host Calvin Thomas, co-host Justin B.A. the Barber Harris. Gentlemen, hopefully you all had a very happy Thanksgiving. But how y'all doing tonight?
I'm Peachy King, man. How y'all doing?
Calvin?
Oh, all right.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanksgiving was good about till about 8 o'clock. Around that time. But time with the family was good, so I ain't complaining about that. But everything after that,
Well, folks, we thank you for tuning in tonight. We ask that you share, like, subscribe if you are new to the podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, share with your friends. And let's get this podcast out there more and more. We heading into the NFL playoffs, NBA season's picking up, and we appreciate you all who tune in after the fact. We want to pick up these live numbers here each and every week. So if we can help, you can help us with that. We truly appreciate it. We try to come to you. With our schedule kind of been all over the place here lately, but we promise that we're going to try to be back here every week, 9 p.m. on Wednesday night. We try to keep that consistent. So if you can hit that share, like, subscribe, we really, truly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into it. It was a lot that's happened over this past week, and a couple surprising things. I mean, look, other than fantasy football, where I'm still number one and by a wide margin, nothing else really positive to speak of on my end. Nothing really positive. I mean, even in our pick segment, Justin won the damn pick segment this week. Like that's crazy.
Thursday was ugly. Thursday was ugly.
Like Calvin, I think you won one game all week. Yeah. I know you won one game all week. But I think we won 0 on Thursday. We won 0 on Friday.
Wait, 1 second. Why did you say that I won like it was a shock? I don't appreciate.
Have you seen the standings?
Wait. That's neither here nor there. We want to stay in the current moment. I don't understand why that was a shot that I happened to win. That's all I'm saying. I won fantasy too, by the
way. Let's be real with ourselves. All right. 46 to 35. I mean,
the comeback
look, guys,
is on.
Yes, yeah, like, congrats. Yes, you know what I mean? You should have won more, and you could have closed the gap even more. But anyway, we'll get into that. We jumped the gun a little bit, but overall, just what a week, what a bad week, and it has to start with what we saw last Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. Some of you all had a hell of a meal with your family. You sat around. Went to watch that nightcap after seeing the Cowboys get a big win, after seeing the Packers defeat the Lions. You said, okay, Ravens handle business at home. Joe Burrow's back, but doesn't matter. Lamar's going to come out there and show the best that he got. You know what I mean? We're gonna show the world why we are still the hammer and they the nail. We're gonna put them where they belong. And that's not what happened, guys. Thursday night, Joe Burrow wasn't great. He was rusty early. The Bengals weren't the Ravens defense did their job for the most part, put in some tough situations, fouled their back, goal line stands, giving up field goals when easily could have been touchdowns, and they kept this team in the game. But time after time, the Ravens shot themselves in the foot. Whether it's the fumble by Isaiah Likely for the touchback that should have been a touchdown, the push off by Zay Flowers that many couldn't look. The ref could have been a no call. Here's what it is. It takes 7 points off the board. That was a touchdown. That's off the board. So that's 14 points. Lamar Jackson gets stripped, fumbles the ball, sets them up in scoring position. The Ravens defense holds them to 3. Congrats on that.
No, they held them to 0. They went for the fourth down.
They went for the fourth down. So they got nothing on that. All right, good enough.
Hell of a goal line stand.
Hell of a goal line. Then Lamar empty hands it. Just loses the ball. I'm like, is it the tuck rule? What is going on here? What did the wind blow to? I know it was windy on Thursday night, but what happened? Nobody knows. Phantom fumble. He fumbles the ball, walks off the field like, never did the office. Again, defense does the best they can. They keep the game tight. Zay Flowers got one catch all night because the other catch got called back on the OPI. Then he fumbles the ball. What can you turn to that you can't say that the Ravens offense beat themselves. I'm not blaming the defense for nothing. Yeah, it's 32-14, but that was after it was no hope. That was the fans were gone. Like me and Calvin talked before the show started. Most of the fans were out of there by third, like late in the third. Like the fourth quarter was like this team looked lifeless. Derrick Henry only get 10 carries, averaging like 8 yards a clip. Like, what are we doing? Like, look, even Keith Mitchell was averaging 6 yards a touch. What are we doing? Bateman had what? 1 catch. Zay had 1 catch and a fumble. Yeah, so who's getting the balls? Who like Mark Andrews was getting balls hit, likely made some big plays, but then he fumbles the ball out back of the end zone. Like, at some point, is it coaching? Is it lack of preparation? Is it lack of concentration? Is Lamar hurt? I saw him run with a little burst the other night. Oh, I was like, okay. And like Nick Wright said, I give Nick Wright credit. I know he's a Ravens hater, but he said, I'm even shocked when Lamar makes a play with his legs now, where before that was second nature. He's like, oh, he ran. Okay, all right. Like, what can you hang your hat on? What can you hang your hat on? Hopefully it's the defense, but I just don't know, man. We looked at this schedule. And we said that the Ravens easily could win this division. But now, that Steelers game, that's as bad as the Steelers looked this past week. That's not a layup. The Bengals in 2 weeks in Cincinnati, what we just saw, what they did do us in Baltimore, Patriots, another Steelers matchup. It's just not a very good football team right now. Calvin, your thoughts?
Look, I agree with a lot of what you said, especially pertaining to Thursday. The defense, I give them applause. I give them praise for how they held that offense, that Cincinnati offense, to 12 points when they dominated time of possession that first half. It was like 20-10, easily the first half, and they held them to 12 points. They had a goal line stand on when they got the ball on first and goal on the 2. I give that defense a lot of credit for that first half, keeping them in the game. Even into the third quarter when it was 19-14, keeping them in the game.
It was a game.
It's the offense. Look, this really tells you how much Lamar had to be Superman the last 4 or 5 years to get stuff done on offense. This is what this tells you. Because you see Lamar hurt, injured, whatever he is not himself, and this is the product that you get on offense. He hasn't played well since he came back. You can talk about the Miami game. At certain games, they could have lost their Miami game. There were plays not made in that Miami game. You go back, look at Cleveland. They could have lost to Cleveland. There were plays not made by Cleveland, and they had a rookie quarterback starting. You could go back to the Jets. They could have lost to the Jets. There were plays not made by the Jets. This offense has been struggling, in my opinion, with Lamar Jackson since he came back. Their last best performance, in my opinion, you got to go back to week 2. I mean, they put up points everywhere else, but
I didn't think they were sensational week 2. I thought week 1.
I said week 2 because they won. They scored 35, 38, whatever it was.
I mean, Huntley beat the Bears. I mean, with Lamar at the helm.
And look, the Bears look great too. So I give credit to Huntley too.
That's a quality
Bears leading the NFC, but this team on offense is it's been consistently bad all year long for the most of the year. And we can see what Lamar has to do to carry this offense, in my opinion, week to week. And when he is not Superman, this is what you get. When between the play calling, between supposedly trying to get everyone touches because you have so many weapons, but you're getting 7 touches to this person or 7 targets to this person, and they only catch 1 ball, Zay Flowers. You get 6 targets each to your tight ends, and there's no rhythm on offense. Derrick Henry can't get in the rhythm. We see Keith Mitchell have a long breakout run. He got 1 more carry the rest of the game. If you see Keith Mitchell and Derrick Henry score your touchdowns, why did they not get the ball 2 out of 3 times for the rest of the game? You know your offense is struggling. You know your quarterback is struggling. Make life easy on him in a game that you have to win. It was easily frustrating to watch this team. And like you said, it doesn't get any better with the schedule. The games that they have to win, you can't lose them because they still have to play New England. New England wants to be number 1 seed. They still have to play Green Bay. Green Bay's trying to win the division. Pittsburgh's trying to win the division, even though they had Mason Rudolph this week. So I give the Ravens a little bit of credit there. But And you have the Bengals. The Bengals can still win this division at 4-8. They are not mathematically eliminated yet at 4-8, and they still play the Bengals. I'm sorry, they still play Cleveland, and they still play Baltimore. They can win this division. So,
but before you go, Justin, I just want to jump back in there. The thing that there's a difference because I hear what you're saying, but the offensive line has not been this bad. This is the worst offensive line Lamar has played with.
You're right.
We got to say that.
We've talked about I brought this up. When you let two of the best guards in free agency go, and you see what happens with your center. So,
and the center is trash. Call it what it is.
Oh, he's definitely gone. Well, especially what happened today. So he's gone. So
I mean, look, it's so evident that even we thought when Ricard come back, that run game going to start clicking.
Still didn't help.
It still has not helped.
You open up no holes inside. Everything is met. Derrick Henry's met the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He's never not touched 2, 3, 4 yards down the field.
He's manufacturing plays.
Yes, he has to manufacture yards, and yes. At this point, maybe your best option is keep Mitchell because he can get to the outside and turn the corner and outrun you to the corner. But
Henry wasn't bad. It's not like
no. I'm not saying Henry was bad. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying when Derrick Henry gets hit the line of scrimmage and has to make that man miss. I agree with that. To get positive yards.
But we all know Derrick Henry the type of running back. You just can't just give him one carry.
Yeah, you got to feed him.
You got to give him a rhythm.
But at what point when you have 15 carries to 30 yards, do I say it's not?
No. I'm agreeing with that. The problem is sometimes you have to pass to set up the run. And when Lamar's been inaccurate, Lamar's been inaccurate. Call it what it is. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I mean, and I'm gonna just piggyback Paul's right off of that. I've been supporting Keaton Mitchell all season, even before the season started. So do I want him to get more touches? Of course I do. Do I want him, like, when you know that your offensive line is in flux like this, just like you're saying, like, that was the problem all season. It's not stopping. It's not going to stop. You were hoping that Lamar will be super Lamar, but he's not. He got his kryptonite right now, and he's going to work through that. So I believe Lamar can turn the corner. It's just going to take some more time for him to do so. I believe he can play better than what he played. But at the end of the day, now is the time in which you need to have a more precise. I'm not talking about it has to be dead on offense, but you need more screen pass. You need more short, quick plays in a sense. One, to keep the defense off guard. Two, to get it into your receiver's hands a little bit quicker than what you're doing now. The Zay Flowers of the world. I will put Keaton Mitchell in that category, because they can make things happen once they catch the ball. That's what you need to do, in my opinion, that is. And also, on top of that, yes, Lamar could throw the tight ends all day, and likely did break one, and he should have maintained the ball. But at the end of the day, you have to do a little bit more than throwing it to your tight ends damn near 12 to 13 times. And that's a little bit too much when it comes to that. You got to expand your weapons in a sense. But the Ravens lost because of turnovers. Let's just call it what it is. The numbers are very equal. Passing yards, rushing yards. The only thing that's like difference, you got 4 lost fumbles and an interception thrown.
Jesus.
That's 5 possessions. 5. Like that's and a couple of them was literally scoring. Like I'm
moving.
Likely has scored.
You
that
took
points off the board that went to the other team in some
not to mention the OPI.
Facts. And that we're not even talking about that. So it's like you can't shoot yourself in the foot 5 to 6 times. So I know the offensive line is bad. You still got to protect the ball. That's what they tell you since Pee Wee. That's what they tell you as soon as you touch the ball, hold on to the ball. You cannot turn the ball over. And unfortunately, that's what they did. That's what the Bengals did not do. And it's only if you give Joe Burrow 5 extra possessions, my God. He's going to score. He's that good. We're not going to not talk like he's not that good. Most guys will score at least half of that. So you know what I'm saying. The fact that they only scored 32 points is a testament to the defense itself. They could have put up more in a sense, right? So they did their job as in the Ravens defense the first half. The second half, it was just too much. These guys are getting tired. You're not sustaining drives. And then when you have drive killers and turnovers. What we doing here? So at the end of the day, we're going to take this. You have to take this game, and you got to push it aside. I'm not saying you don't learn from it. You still watch it. You still do those things. But the number one goal, Calvin, you made a good point. I'm going to say it in a second. You have to be better than Pittsburgh. So if Pittsburgh lose, you got an extra week. It's just you just brought yourself one extra week of let's see how the division shakes out. But the Bengals are sitting there, and this is to Calvin's point. They like, hold up now. If we got Joe back, the defense, in their eyes, they held the Ravens to 14 points. Clearly, we see that the Ravens kind of held themselves with the turnovers, but in their eyes, they caused those turnovers. In their eyes, the defense finally showed up. So in Cincinnati, they're thinking, hold up. Are you saying we got a chance? And that's what they believe. Pittsburgh is on a decline. Ravens, we don't know yet what's going on with the Ravens. They just got their guy back. So you can't tell me that Cincinnati ain't thinking we got a shot to take this division.
Yeah. I also think what's very important, Bateman missed the last 2 games. That was his game back. He clearly was not 100%.
Right.
If you watch him off the line, he didn't have the same burst. Hopefully, another week of practice. He looked like he's not on the injury report. Hopefully, he'll be back full strength. I don't know if they're going to line up who he's going to be lined up against. If they give him Joey Porter, he might have a matchup there. You know what I mean? So hopefully, if Bateman is effective, and that's when this offense is at its best, they have to respect Bateman taking the ball off the top. If that happens, they can eat underneath. Hopkins did get a little bit more involved this week. I don't know if they were forcing him some plays, whatever the case may be. But I agree with you with the screen game. They do have to, and you saw Henry. Henry got a couple balls thrown his way and made some plays happen in the passing game. So again, that was more when the game became into a desperation mode. But that's the best way to, when your offensive line is weak, you do have to make those moves, especially against teams that are super aggressive. Now, this week you got TJ Watt. You know that they got, I don't know the status of Patrick Queen. You know he likes to blitz and things of that nature. I want to see what that middle of the field is like. You're going to have to put them to the test. Robert Spillane and all them guys. And Pittsburgh notoriously causes turnovers. I think they cause maybe the most turnovers in the league. So you have to be respectful of that. And Lamar, you have to take care of the football. At home, 2 weeks in a row, I'm telling you, man, if they lose this game, after what we saw from Pittsburgh last week, man, you heard the talks about. We're gonna talk about Mike Tomlin in a minute, but Harbaugh might not make out the season, man. I'm telling you, man. At this point, it's just you can't blame nobody else. I mean, Lamar's not going nowhere. He's having a down year. He's been playing sensational most of his career. Everyone's due a down year at some point. I don't want it to be this bad. And again, they won 5 in a row, but they weren't impressive in those wins. So like you say, you don't accept nothing in a loss that you wouldn't in a win. You know what I mean? You don't accept nothing in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. Same type of thing. So I need to see this team playing better if I'm going to have any confidence in them heading into the playoffs. And this schedule, again, it is what it is. It starts Sunday. And hopefully everybody looks in the mirror and is accountable. And the day news broke that Mark Andrews, they extended him on a 3-year deal, gave him some guaranteed money. I think it was a smart deal. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's smart to try to spread that out, give him a lot of money up front, and then you're not paying no heavy cap number. I think there's a case that Lamar trusts him. I mean, it is what it is. Like, even now, when Lamar's struggling, he still throws to Andrews, and 9 times out of 10, Andrews going to get open. Lamar might be inaccurate with the throw. Andrew will go down to the ground. Andrew will stretch himself out to try to make a play. I think that's valuable. Now, we don't know the long-term, what is likely going to be here long-term, what type of contract situation. So you at least keep a top tier, you're not top tier anymore. Maybe that second tier type tight end, a security blanket for Lamar Jackson in the fold. I don't have a problem with it. And it's not as expensive as it looks because you're putting that money up front. So I don't mind that. Calvin, what's your thoughts?
I don't want that contract at the expense of Likely. I think Likely has the higher future from here going out, and I think you're losing him from whatever happened in August when it was talked about how they would get ready to sign his deal. Then he gets hurt the next day or that same day. Until we're talking about franchising him last month. Whatever happened the last couple months, I don't know if I'm assuming they offer Likely the same contract they gave Andrews, and Andrews or Likely said no, and Andrews said yes, and that was part of it as well. And maybe Lamar trusts, like you said, Lamar trusts him more. But I just think from this point going forward, you need that production from the tight end position. You need to get better. I've seen Likely be the number one tight end 2 years ago, the number one seed. And we worried about that position when Andrews went down with that. Probably was a broken foot, I believe. We were worried about that position. We saw Likely be that number one guy. We saw Likely be the go-to guy on fourth down against Miami. We saw him be the guy that caught touchdown passes against Houston. So I think his future is bright. But I just don't. You can't ask him to be a second fiddle, a second stringer when you're going to continue to pay Andrews. So it's almost like you had to choose one or the other. At this point going forward, I would choose Likely. That's all I'm saying.
Who's to say you can't pay both?
So you want to franchise him? I mean, I'll say this. I'm assuming either he's gone or Linderbaum's gone or both of them are gone. But I don't see you signing Likely and this being his first payday, and you're not obviously giving him what you said you were going to do in August.
So how much was that initial offer?
The report was it was less than the franchise tag, so I'm assuming it was around 15 because the franchise tag is 16, I believe. But there was also rumors that he's been, I don't know if you've heard that he's been sulking around the locker room. I don't know if that's contract related or target related or what the case may be. So I don't know if that played a part, but
I heard a lot of people in the offense just not happy with the play call decisions.
And he's a contract year too. So if he ain't happy about the targets, then but I still think he gets paid. I think
all that comes back to the offensive line. I really don't care about Likely, to be honest with you. The Ravens need to invest in offensive line because at the end of the day, you can't catch nothing if
you're replacing three of them, in my opinion, in this offseason.
So I think that's where the priority is. So anyway, that was just some inside baseball stuff. We get it. We'll learn more about it as things go on. Let's keep this thing moving. Dallas Cowboys defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28 on probably the highest rated. I think it is the highest rated football game of all time. Outside of a Super Bowl.
I was gonna say, was it the highest rated Thursday game?
I think maybe the Thanksgiving game, but it was pretty high. I saw a chart. Adam Schefter, I think, tweeted out earlier. The Ravens game wasn't much, but that 4:00 game broke all the records. It was tremendously well received, and it was a good game. It wasn't no. You can't look at that football game and say anybody didn't come and bring that A game. Even in defeat, I thought the Chiefs played well. They just got outplayed. Call it what it is. Like, that defense didn't show up. But against that Dallas offense, the way they clicking right now, man, I don't know, man. And look, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he doing his thing out there in Seattle. But you can't look at what George Pickens has produced over the last, I want to say, 2 months and say that he's not probably the hottest receiver in the league right now. The guy just makes stuff happen. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. Y'all know me. I hate the Cowboys, but I respect game. That motherfucker's playing the ball. Like I'm enjoying what I'm seeing out of the offensive production and the defense. I know they gave up 28, but they made life difficult for Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. And the run defense has gotten a lot better. Yeah. Give them credit, Jerry. Hey, we criticized Jerry for some of his decision making. The Quinnen Williams trade, proven to be pairing him with Kenny Clark, going out and get a Logan from Cincinnati. Yeah. Like, it's working. It's working. Shout out to Jerry. Hate is a strong word, but it's true. It is what it is, man. Look, Cowboys been doing that thing. Calvin, tell us about your team. Oh, they're not your team. Your former team. Go ahead.
Pat, go.
I don't want you claiming nothing.
Look, that like you said, that defense with Kenny Clark, with Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, that defense, especially that run defense, has been playing phenomenal in the last couple of weeks. And even looking at how they made life hard for back-to-back weeks for Jalen Hurts, your favorite quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes, two high-powered offenses, maybe not really in Philadelphia, but they claim to be a high-powered offense. And they're still, and look, even in the clutch, they got the ball back with 3 minutes left, up 3, and then ran the clock out. They didn't give the ball back to Kansas City. And like I said, they probably have two of the best, what do you want to say, 6-7 receivers in the league this year? Easily. I mean,
CD kind of having it, not the best.
When CD has been healthy, CD has been the number one receiver in Dallas, better than Pickens, in my opinion. It's just that they had that one little week in Vegas when they decided not to show up on time. But Dak is playing.
They played well that week. I think the week before was when they didn't play well.
Dak is playing well at quarterback, arguably at a MVP level, as I said a couple weeks ago. I said a couple weeks ago, I don't think they can win the division. They're still fighting to get in the playoffs, but they are playing the best offensively out of any team, in my opinion, right now. So, and you give them credit on defense. Defense has become one-dimensional. They gotta throw the ball against them. They can't run the ball. Quentin Williams has been had a resurgence. I think he's had more QB pressures the last 2 weeks than he's had his whole entire year with the Jets so far this year. So he's having resurgence.
What you think, Justin? Justin?
And they lost. You know, they got out chiefed in a sense, right? And I disagree. I believe George Pickens has proven to be a number one receiver. He's been playing better than CD this year. It's just, it is what it is. He has less drops, more yardage. What else do you want? Especially the drops. So shout out to George Pickens on that for reclaiming your career. This is definitely what you need to boost your career. But at the end of the day, Patrick was making Patrick plays. Patrick, I mean that one scramble and tossed it to home. But if he would have went the other way, he would have scored. He went the reverse way. I'm like, what the? You can't see that open field right behind you.
How did he throw that ball falling down like that? Yeah, damn, that was nice.
And for it to be right on the money too, dude was wide open, right? So, you know, Patrick made good plays. Travis scored. Rashid Rice had a good game. Is like you said, the defense.
Hollywood?
The defense left it at home. And they just did not come to play. Chris Jones didn't have a monster game. He didn't have an imprint on the game or anything like that. Dak threw for over 300 yards. Dak was just doing what Dak does. And Dak will air the ball out. I will give Dak credit, man. He will stay in the pocket and see what happens. And Kansas City, Jerry Jones, he might be right, and we have to. When you're right, you're right.
No,
and he was right about this.
I'm not giving Jerry credit.
I cannot. Hold on a second. What I'm saying is that I cannot tie in all my assets to Michael Parsons into one guy.
Did you see the offer he made to Jets and Michael Parsons?
To make more of an impact.
Did you see the offer he made to Jets and Michael Parsons?
Would it happen?
It was Parsons and a one for Quentin Williams.
Well, that tells you something. Look, let me say this.
No. You giving up the best player and a one?
I think that was crazy. But
okay, that's all I'm saying.
I think Parsons is a hell of a pass rusher, a generational talent.
He needs help in the middle.
Those guys don't fall off trees. He's helping Green Bay sensationally. But in order for this team to get where they want to get,
they had too many holes to fill.
They couldn't pay him.
Too many holes.
They had too many holes to fill. Players like Michael Parsons are like the last piece to your puzzle. When you got a lot of things solid, I'm gonna bring a difference maker, and then we're gonna see what's happening. Von Miller went to the Rams, right? Or before that, even Denver, right? They had DeMarcus Ware. They added it. You add defensive end pieces when you have everything else and you're ready to make that push. That's all it is. When you have way too many holes, you got to get
with Michael Parsons. With Michael Parsons, they couldn't stop the run the last 2-3 years. Like, and what have they done to plug that issue? I think he saw that Quentin Williams was going to be the thing they needed to clog that issue up in the middle, and he figured, I still got pass rushers. I still got faith. Man, look at Clowney. Clowney having a resurgence down there, man. I'm like,
Clowney had a resurgence. You surround Clowney with talent. You surround Clowney with talent, he's good.
That's my point. They've done a good job putting a collection of talent. I think y'all getting the cornerback. Y'all getting him back.
Trey Diggs. He's injury prone though.
Yeah, he is, but we've seen some high spots from him. So we'll see. I just think right now, I don't think y'all making the playoffs, but it's a good push.
It makes it interesting.
It's interesting.
It's a good push. Congratulations. We'll see what happens. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Arizona Cardinals 20-17. Justin, take us through this one. I didn't spend 1 second watching this game, so you had to tell me about it.
Long story short, the score is not indicative of how close this was. This was we had the game won. We kind of let off a little bit in towards the second half, but at the end of the day, the game was never really in doubt. Baker Mayfield had a decent game. Bucky came back. We're starting to have a balance a little bit more offensively. Defense stood up. Interceptions, like we just did what we supposed to do when it came to that. We just didn't close out like I would want to. But shout out to Tristan Wirth. He got a touchdown. Yes, our left tackle.
Yeah,
I saw that. It leaked out. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it was just a good game. It's like I said, it was nothing to ride home about in a sense. But we're just trying to stay as healthy as we can be, and we got out this game with no major injuries. Clearly, like I said, Baker came back. We are in a nice position right now to see how the rest of the season goes with us. So nothing to go crazy about this game. It should have been a little bit wider margin than what it is. The game was never in doubt. We handled the Cardinals the way we should, and we just keep it moving.
Calvin, you got any thoughts on this one?
Look, glad y'all got a win and y'all able to stay healthy for the most part. You got to win those Carolina games to make the playoffs. I saw Mike Evans starting to practice this week, so he's starting to get healthy at the right time of the year, going towards the end of the year.
Jalen McMillan's starting to come back too. He getting a little loose too.
He wasn't on IR though, right?
Yeah, he was done. He was done for a while. Okay. He had a neck problem in the preseason, landing on his neck. So he's starting to come around as well. So our pieces are, we're getting healthy at the right time. That's all we can ask for. Offense and defense.
When I looked at y'all schedule, it was very winnable. I think y'all got like 4 division games out of the last 5, and only one is was it Miami and New York 1 and 2?
Don't sleep on that Miami game.
Very winnable.
We're not. But like I said, like Calvin said, it's very winnable. And like I said, just similar to y'all. If y'all stay 1 or 2, one a game above Pittsburgh, you win the division. We gotta stay one game above Carolina. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think nobody want to come to Tampa. First round of the playoffs again. Y'all the 4th seed, so y'all in a good position.
Not with how we're rounding ourselves out to be. I'll be confident in about 4 weeks.
Is Godwin coming back?
Godwin's back. Godwin's back.
Okay.
He's been back for the last 2 weeks. Like I said, he's rounding himself out. It's going to take him about 3 more weeks to get to Chris Godwin that we know of. But by that time, Mike Evans will be back. Emeka can play that role as in he don't necessarily have to be the main guy, because that's not his position. He's not T-Mac. Shout out to T-Mac in Carolina. That he's a bona fide number 1. I'm not saying T-Mac is better than Emeka, but I'm just saying he's turning as in stat by stat, he's having a better season because Emeka had a little dip. But he's not as physical opposing as T-Mac is. So we get our weapons back, and Emeka should have a little bit more positive games heading towards the end of the season.
Definitely. All right, let's keep it moving. Very interesting game on Thanksgiving also was this Packers and Detroit Lions. All of us took the Lions to win this game at home. But the injury to Amon-Ra St. Brown early in the game, you lose Sam Laporta. I mean, at some point, these injuries do rack up, and you can see. Look, Jameson Williams, I think it might be the best game in his career. They got him the ball. That leaves me many questions on how come they don't feature him.
He dropped on that ball in the 4th quarter.
They did, but I thought that at the end of the day, Goff didn't play terrible. He didn't play bad. I just thought the Packers had a little bit too much, and in the end, the defensive line the Packers did what they were supposed to do. The run game of the Detroit Lions was not able to put this game away. Gibbs had some good plays here and there, but down the stretch, you just got to bring your A game if you're going to beat a Packers team that looks like they're trying to really make a push against the Chicago team. Justin, what was your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts is I was more impressed with Jordan Love, man. They was trying to stop him. And the way he has, I don't know too many other quarterbacks have this ability. He's taller than most guys. He can physically impose his will, as in I'm gonna stay in the pocket and I can throw off my back foot heading backwards and still have completed passes. Right. And he definitely did that. He did it all through the game. And it's demoralizing. You think that you got him. He's This is not something that's textbook. You do not teach that form to little kids when they're trying to play football at all. But he finds a way to make it work in a sense where as though he pretty much was killing the drives for Detroit. They thought that they was going to get a couple 3 and outs and things like that. Jordan said, not today. Not on my watch. So Jordan definitely stepped up for me in this particular game. In Detroit, they got their issues, but this is what you have a plethora of talent for. J-Mo, like I mentioned, you can't drop that pass when your team is trying to come back in the fourth quarter. You can't have it. You're the guy now. You're him. So you have to make certain plays. You always thought you was. This is the time for you to step up. So I need more out of him. I know he did good. He caught that screen pass. It was gone. But I need you to do more. I need the running game to be a little bit better. Packers came in, and they got a victory, man.
Calvin.
Look, Green Bay was able to hold Jahmyr Gibbs in check in the run and the pass. That was huge. And then with Amon-Ra St. Brown going out, Detroit became one-dimensional in the passing game. They only targeted really Jameson Williams. They had what's the guy's name? Tom Kennedy that caught a couple passes, but they really became one-dimensional, and they let Micah Parsons loose. Like you said, he had a couple sacks. That offensive line on that left side was questionable for Detroit as well. It's a game Detroit. I felt like Detroit was going to dominate, and then, like I said, on offense, they just kind of started to sputter once Amon-Ra St. Brown went out early in the first half. So
super early. Mm-hmm.
Give it to Green Bay. Give it up to Jordan Love as well. Look, when his receivers show up, like he had that long pass to Christian Watson, who seems to make a play every 3 or 4 weeks.
With a big helmet, man.
When those receivers show up, they have a great offense, but it's like they only show up occasionally, and then you lose your tight end and Kraft a couple weeks ago. I don't know. They're up and down, but look, they're still in contention for that division. I didn't see them win in Detroit.
Definitely. Next up, Black Friday game. The Chicago Bears defeated the Philadelphia Eagles.
Another one we all got wrong.
We all got this one wrong. Look, man, I will own this. I picked the Eagles to go to and win the Super Bowl this year. Right now, this offensive coordinator don't know what he's doing. Let's just call it what it is. Because you know who you're not going to hear from this week? You know who you're not going to hear from? You ain't going to hear Pete. You ain't going to hear no complaints. And that's A.J. Brown. Because A.J. had like 10 catches for 100-some yards, 2 touchdowns. He's completely happy. He don't mind losing. You know what I mean? He got his numbers. Everything is good. But that is not the way this team is built to win. I'm sorry, man. And this is my problem. I think this game had to happen. This game and the aftermath of this game had to happen because Jalen was forcing the ball to AJ. That's what y'all want. Y'all want so now early in the year when they were winning games and AJ wasn't the number one option, but they was getting into Devontae Smith and Devontae was eating and they were winning and they were pulling games out. Oh, all we talking about, you got to get AJ the ball. You got to keep him happy. Now, ever since he been chirping, week after week, there's something else. There's another issue. I'm not blaming him. That's not what I'm saying here. The offensive coordinator is put into a situation that he's in over his head. It's like, why was Phil Jackson so great coaching great players? Why was he the right coach for Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen for the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq? Because you got to have a guy, even Nick Sirianni, you can put the blame at his feet as well. You got to have a guy who knows how to coach egos. And this situation where you get a Super Bowl champion now, this is not the hunted going after something they never had. They're champions with a different type of ego, and now they want to be divas. You have to now give people what they want. And AJ said, I want the ball. And what has happened the last 3 weeks? Loss. He want them stats, like this man said here, taking L's, but he's happy. No, I'm not absorbing Saquon Barkley.
Yes, you
Saquon
are.
has not been himself.
And
he's not holding up his end of the box. How can you say Jalen Hurts hasn't been himself? Jalen he's throwing the ball. He's doing what y'all want him to do.
Can I provide a different point of view?
Well, you can give all the point of view you want. It's wrong, but I'm telling you the right point.
I'll provide a different point of view.
The right point of view is you cannot
you hate it. You hate AJ. That's cool.
Team chemistry.
It's cool.
Team chemistry is important. But AJ's happy this week. He got 10 catches, 100-some yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's very happy. He don't care about the wins and losses. That don't matter. Go ahead.
Let me say it like this: they got shredded in the run game. They gave up. They had 2 100-yard rushes. Time of possession was like 40-20. Chicago had drives of 11, scoring drives of 11, 11, 15, 12, and 8. Those were their scoring drives. So and they had and the only way Philadelphia was able to score because they couldn't run the ball was through the passing game. Even though they were getting chewed up on the clock on the other side of the ball, so they had the passing game, and that's why he had those numbers. They could, but even in this game, they could do nothing with the run game of the Chicago Bears. They ran up and down the field relentlessly all through the game. Ben Johnson deserves all the credit. He's got those guys playing well, but let's be for real. Philadelphia's offense has struggled all year long. The fact that he can't get AJ Brown the ball during the course of the offense when they're winning says more about your boy Jalen Hurts. Why do we can't say Jalen Hurts hasn't played as well he did last year? That's all we've ever said. But you want to take it to another level, AJ Brown, because he's passionate. He wants to win.
Well, how's that working out? All right, Justin, your turn.
Well,
working out for Cowboys.
Just like they come to AJ Brown, just like they come to AJ Brown when he has a good game or when he has a bad game. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's going on? You're not the same player you used to be. You know this other stuff. Well, if he had a good game, he ain't the problem. Somebody had to throw in the ball, so Jalen gets like half credit. Eventually, somebody got to talk to Saquon and say what's going on.
They are talking to Saquon. They talk to him every week.
Say what's going on. He ain't saying. He better say it. He better say it. Call it what it is.
Problem. We've all said that. The offensive line is a problem. But this week, the defense got shredded. That's what I mean. That spirit, it permeates the whole ball club. And it just creates this nastiness. And once that snowball starts going, it is hard to stop it. They had a good thing going. They had team chemistry. And then you let a guy on the sideline read his book last year, and you win a Super Bowl.
And they won a Super Bowl.
Keep quiet, huh?
And they won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. He was quiet reading his book. This year, he want to talk. Like, go read the book, goddammit. It worked out. Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. But no, like that's the problem with this game. Caleb didn't have a great game. He made plays when needed.
Really
so shout out to Caleb.
They ran the ball.
They just ran the ball. They had a good game plan. I guess my issue with it is, Philadelphia, your defense comes and goes, and when you have the Jalen Carters of the world and stuff like that, this is something that you can't allow. You can't allow someone to just look at you in your face and say you're not going to be able to stop Swift, right? And shout out to Swift. It's not even a knock against him, but it's not like Chicago is known for that rushing game.
Both of them.
It was both of them. Right? He didn't even have the most yards.
Rushes.
Facts. So that's a problem. So I don't like Philadelphia defense. You got to come to play. You got to play better than that. You can't let a team run all over you. The game was supposed to be put in Caleb Williams' hand for them to say, like, all right, Caleb, you got to be able to stop us. It didn't happen that way. So that's definitely the number one thing that they got to work on, to me, is fixing the defense first to get that situated, because they have the ability to stop games. They have the ability to take control of games, as they were saving the damn team the whole entire season. The reason why they got 8 wins isn't because of goddamn Jalen Hurts in the team. No, it's because of defense being the better out the two. This is the offense that need to step up. So that's my 2 takes on it.
I agree with that. I'm saying, and I'll go back to my original point. The offensive coordinator, a lot of this goes at his feet. He's first time calling plays. He doesn't have a grasp. Look, they lost their offensive coordinator because typically, when you're really good, people want to become a head coach. It happens. Every team has experienced this. So, Nick Sirianni, are you going to take over play calling? Are you going to go out and go get a Brian Daboll? Are you going to go out and get one of these guys to come in and do something? You got to make a move. I'm sorry. It's not working. It's not working. And the run game is what has made this team what it is. And if you can't run the ball or come up with some creative offensive line, and I listen to Jason Kelce, he made some great points. He said some of the run schemes that we ran are not being implemented. I get it. Lane Johnson has missed a lot of games here lately. Yeah. So that's a huge part of it. So you're missing Jason Peters. You're missing Lane Johnson. You're missing some of these guys that made this team what it was and allowed Saquon to look, let's be honest. When Saquon was in New York, he wasn't like this runner that just was churning out yard after yard every drive. Saquon would run into the line, and then he'll break a big one, and that's what padded a lot of his stats. Yeah. Exactly. Nah, Derek was a little bit more consistent. I mean, but Saquon, literally led the league in negative plays.
Not that.
Yeah. No, Saquon led the league in negative plays.
Adrian Peterson type of build.
I was going to say Derrick Henry had.
He gonna break one. Yeah.
Derrick Henry averaged 2-3 carries over 20 yards for like a 6-7 week stretch last year,
and that was sensational.
So he was always getting positive yardage.
But what I'm saying is from a offensive line that was so great last year and allowed Saquon to feel like I'm invincible. And now in the offensive line not like that no more. That is a change, but the play calling has to adapt. And Saquon got to catch the ball when Jalen throw it to him. How many times have you seen him drop passes out the backfield? Like, I don't know what's he anticipating to hit.
You can think of a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I know we belabored that, but these the guys I picked to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not impressed. And A.J. Brown, I'm laying a lot of it at your feet, punk. Anyway, next.
He'll be in Baltimore next year.
This one, to me, I wanted look, y'all know I had God on the little. I love Jonathan Taylor. I'm not getting off that. He has not been playing well. This team goes as Jonathan Taylor goes. You got a quarterback in Daniel Jones with a broken leg out there, like just playing for some reason. He can't run. And y'all know Daniel Jones is a running quarterback. Like, that's part of what makes him what he is. So for them to even been this close in the game, shout out to them. But the Texans are coming, man. Pause that. But they are coming. Pause that again. Calvin, your thoughts?
Houston looks good. The CJ after that concussion looks good. The run game looks good. Nico Collins looks like a man amongst boys. And Sauce, don't know what the injury within was hope it wasn't a calf or and that's the guy you gave 2 number ones for, and you're going to re-sign Daniel Jones. That's not look like a good trade right now. Houston is definitely on their way, and they have a great chance to win this division, in my opinion.
Look at that schedule. It's set up for them. It's set up. If they beat Kansas City, they beat
that seems like it's awfully easy to do now.
We'll talk about it in a minute, but it's setting up for them really good. And Jacksonville top of this division.
That last week gonna be important.
They got Jacksonville. Like, Jacksonville's the head of the division, but by a hair.
They don't play Jacksonville.
No. I'm saying they the head of the South right now. But if you look at this schedule and how things are laying out, the Colts in trouble. Like, the Colts could nosedive here and really not even make the playoffs. Yeah. This is tricky. Justin, your thoughts?
No, Justin, and this goes to, I didn't necessarily expect the Colts to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was a little delay.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. But no, this goes what I was saying earlier with the Houston. They're just going to default their way into the playoffs. I just didn't know that the other two teams would be this good in a sense, right? But Houston's definitely turning the corner. And they're playing very well. That they're led by their defense. CJ's coming around now. He's back, and CJ got to play. To me, he got to play a little bit better. But he got the ball to Nico. That's option number one. Great job. Their running game, Woody walks and stuff like that, it still needs to be a little bit more to be desired. But you just keep plugging it, keep striving, rely on your defense, and you'll find a way to win these games. The Colts, like you said, it's all on JT and nothing, right? They really is. Let me ask you a question. Is Anthony Richardson is he hurt?
No.
Come on, we've been down this road.
I'm just saying.
You got a running quarterback with a fractured leg. Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's
at least his heart work. I don't know about Anthony Richardson. You never know. He might tap his helmet or something. I don't know.
I'm just saying it might be time. They got like 1 or 2 more games. And I'm like, look, the man need to heal. It is what it is. Like, Daniel Jones did all he could. Shout out to Daniel. Yeah, great. You had a resurgence to your career.
You might stay in your career a couple more years.
But he done. He ain't the same guy no more.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll continue to monitor. But this AFC South, yeah, man, it's shaping up.
Indy may not win another game.
Might not. Speaking of team might not win another game. The Pittsburgh Steelers were defeated 26-7 by the Buffalo Bills. I just knew this was going to happen. I saw this coming. I said it. I said, look, guys, what does Buffalo do very well and Pittsburgh doesn't do well at all? And I said, how many times, if y'all watch this game, did you see James Cook run the exact same play?
I think it was 26.
I've been watching football my entire life. I've never seen a guy go in motion the same place every time. The team run the ball to the right side, right where TJ Watt is, every time, and there's no adjustment made. I've never seen that before. I mean, he got at least 6 yards every time. Like, what are we doing? Like, Mike Tomlin is this great coach. And I know he made his name on defense. I know people like to take these pot shots at John Harbaugh. You're a special teams coach. Yeah, special teams better be great. Well, Mike Tomlin, your defense, Dick LeBeau saved you for years. Let's be real. Dick LeBeau was the defensive coordinator for that team. But you allowed this one guy. Look, Josh Allen maybe had one good play the whole game. You allowed James Cook to run straight through your defense. So much so, even number 6, he got hurt. It didn't matter. I think at that point, they played a little better once number 6 got hurt. Because they was running through them like it was just bad. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going, but that was terrible.
Look, I agree with that. I agree with everything you said, but one thing I want to say, the tide turned for this game when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. That first, was it the second play of the second half? First play, whatever it was.
Game, but they couldn't do nothing.
I mean, but this, at the same token, Buffalo's offense wasn't doing nothing at that point. As many yards as Cook had, he didn't do anything until the second half. He didn't score until the second half.
Because they changed the game plan. They changed the game plan.
Pittsburgh couldn't score. Pittsburgh couldn't score at that point. I'm not saying they scored a lot, but they couldn't score at that point. Up until that point, it was a competitive game. Aaron Rodgers goes out, and I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is great, but I'm just saying that he was the best thing. He was the best thing that they had on offense. So
Aaron Rodgers,
I'm not overreacting on Buffalo, in my opinion. They played down to the competition. They didn't play well. When Aaron Rodgers went out, then all of a sudden they got confidence. That doesn't say a lot to me about Buffalo. Aaron
Rodgers went out for one series and came back, and nothing changed.
He was out for more than that. He was out for 2 series.
He was out for one series. The dude threw an interception. Aaron Rodgers came right back in the game.
So it went from 7-3 to 16-17-3.
As the head coach, like that, while you were letting a man who was clearly concussed, his head bounced.
You need to win the ball. You need to win a football game.
That was pathetic. Go ahead, Justin.
You need to win a football game.
Well, good luck with that. 7
one, it was pathetic. And 2, he addressed the fire Tomlin chance. And it's so he blame Pittsburgh for that. They cannot afford not to make the playoffs. He can have his winning record all he wants to, but he cannot afford to miss the playoffs.
It's not a winning record; it's a non-losing record. But you can't go 8-8 no more. So yeah, go ahead.
But no, I'm gonna give some love to like you said, James Cook. 32 rushes in today's football is
Jesus
Christ. A boatload in a sense, right? We don't really see stuff like that no more. Shout out to JT. JT gave you a couple performances like that as well. That's a lot. But at the end of the day, Keon Coleman, hey man, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? The team missed you. You got your little touchdown. I still need you to do more. But this wasn't Josh Allen's game. It was like you said. It was straight Cook game. He gonna need time. He gonna need some time off. I don't think you can have back-to-back performances like that. But that's just where we're at now. And I don't want to belabor the point. Y'all said enough when it comes to that. The number one thing that the Buffalo did was the number one thing that Pittsburgh can't handle was rushing the ball. Josh Allen was a mere afterthought this game.
I'm telling you, if the Ravens don't come out there Sunday and try to replicate and put a couple wrinkles, don't do exactly what they did.
They don't run the ball 40 pounds this game.
Thank you. Anyway, that was the last game that we looked at, but it was some interesting games this week after that. But that Denver-Washington game turned out to be pretty interesting. Give Mariota credit. Oh my God, Traylon Burks. Oh my goodness, man! What a catch! That looked like OBJ's old catch.
His catch a Puka catch.
I thought Traylon Burks was better.
I think
it was a touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, it was for a touchdown. Okay.
It was a touchdown.
Puka's was routine though. It was great, but it was routine.
It was routine for Puka.
Yeah.
Also, look, New England just might be the best team in the AFC. I mean, I know they are record-wise, and the people had just been like slow to just say it, but they dominate that first half. What do y'all think about the comments from Jackson Dart about he's a football player and injuries going to come? I know a lot of people been making a big thing about him not protecting himself and not running out. I thought he was running out of bounds. He got hit. I mean,
no, I think he was running. He was running up the field. He ain't run out. He wasn't going out of bounds.
Y'all don't think he was angling towards going out of bounds?
I don't think so.
He got hit while one foot was going out of bounds.
He got hit, one foot was in the air because he was trying to get the first down.
I mean, he got rocked. Like. But what's your thoughts overall on his mentality? I got my own thoughts, but I'll let y'all go first. Calvin, go ahead. You normally
the new coach of the New York Giants will tell him to start slide if you want to be a franchise quarterback. You cannot run the ball, and once you stay in bounds to get extra yards as a quarterback in this league, you can't take hits and land on your shoulder. You can't take hits like that routinely every game. You've had a concussion, 3 concussions this year, and you've only started 6 games. You cannot take hits like that. I don't know if
no 3 concussions. I thought they said they.
Well, I thought he's been in concussion. He's been in concussion protocol 3 times. I'll say it like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's your thoughts, Justin?
You can't do that as a quarterback.
Look, man. We've seen this, man. We've seen this, man. We cannot. No, not a Josh Allen.
No.
You can't be sitting there, laying flat on the ground, throwing up gang signs. You know what I'm saying? We seen it with Tua. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this. We've seen how this plays out. It's not pleasurable. It's not something that it's not desirable at all. So you have to get out of bounds. You have to slide. You have to do all those things because you are now susceptible to getting hit like that. You're susceptible for the concussions now. It doesn't clear. It doesn't heal up. That doesn't just, you'll never get it again. No, you're more likely to get another one. That's how this thing works. So it's that process of it. It's not like a bone. Hey, I messed up my tibia, my fibula, my arm some kind of way. All right, it healed. It's stronger than what it used to be now. I'm good to go. It doesn't work like that when it comes up here. So he got to use this up here. If not, then they need to go ahead and get rid of him right now before they even have any harshness moving forward. It is what it is. Let Scatterboo do all that dumbass. You see what happened here. Let Scatterboo do that.
Scatterboo ain't saying a second contract. You keep playing like that.
Hey man, look. I like the mentality. I think he definitely has to protect himself. That goes without saying. But I like the idea of him just saying, "Look, I'm here to play football. It is what it is. I'm going to protect myself. He needs to work on that." Mm-hmm. And the examples that they showed, a couple of them were just football plays. We see Baker Mayfield. We see Lamar Jackson. We see Josh Allen. We see Cam. Like some of the most dynamic players that we've seen in this league have to have a certain edge to that game. Yes, you need to protect yourself. I'm not saying that he shouldn't get better at that. I'm just saying you can only I like to hear the mentality. Just tighten it up a bit. Just tighten it up a bit.
I'll end it with this. Those guys that you mentioned, they have a sixth sense and aware about themselves to avoid the certain hits.
They learned that though. They didn't have it right off the bat. They didn't have it right off. Some of those guys took some hits.
Homeboy ain't gonna make it to learn.
He's trying to get an extra yard for a 3 and 18, bruh. Say that when y'all winning.
I get it, but we've seen it before. It's not like we've been told that, this is why the black quarterback can't make it because they run too much. We've been told these things. I'm just saying from a mentality perspective, this is not new. Again, he'll learn, and unfortunately, injury will have to be his teacher. But I agree with y'all on principle. I'm just saying I'd rather have that than tapping my helmet and asking not to go back in the game. That's just me. That's just me. Maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know. Anyway, one more game that we didn't touch on was probably the upset of the week. The Carolina Panthers defeated the Los Angeles Rams 31-28. This was the Rams team that everybody was crowning last week. I mean, everybody's saying Matthew Stafford's MVP. A lot of people still have him as MVP. But at the end of the day, look, give credit to that Carolina defense 2 weeks in a row. We saw what they did to Brock Purdy 2 weeks ago, picking him off 3 times. And then they went out there and they made Matt Stafford look like Brock Purdy because they were picking him off the same way.
Carolina
so at some point, you can't just say, oh, as though up there. Like, it's the defense. The defense is doing their job. They put up points. Bryce Young wasn't like sensational or nothing like that, but the running game was clicking. Welcome back, Chuba Hubbard, with the screen pass taking off down the right rail. I just thought overall this was a hell of a game at home in Carolina. And look, I was down in Carolina over the weekend, so I seen a lot of them fans was like, whoa, we beat the Rams? The hell's going on? Like, it was kind of cool, you know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to the Rams. The Panthers getting a big win over the best team, well, formerly the best team in the NFC. Calvin, your thoughts?
West Coast team going East playing 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dangerous formula. Bryce Young looked good in my opinion. He only had 4 or 5 incompletions. He had a couple hundred yards, had 3 touchdowns. Every time the Rams did something, they answered back. They continued to answer back, and the defense did just enough to win that ball game. So I give Bryce Young some credit, I give Chuba Hubbard some credit, and I give that defense some credit. So it's a good win from Carolina. It's a win that Tampa Bay didn't expect them to see.
What's your thoughts?
No question. No question. But this is Bryce Young. I mean, he had 3 touchdowns in this game. No interceptions.
It was a good game.
So this is the thing about Bryce Young is and I said this last week. When he beat the Rams, okay, so it's done. He got the Rams. He got a victory over there. Now the spotlight is put right back on him. You have the spotlight put right back on you. The best team in the NFC so far, whatever the case, however you want to. It is what it is. You beat one of the best teams in the NFC. Now let's see what you do after that. And that's Carolina's issue right now. As soon as the spotlight gets put right back on them, Bryce Young has a 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 130-yard type game.
Yeah.
He needs to play better. He needs to be more consistent because the team is ready. The team is ready, and I hate to admit that this team is ready. I thought Atlanta was ready. No, it's Carolina. They're the team that's ready and primed to go. They just need him to play a lot better, and we'll see if he can be as consistent as he is now. But damn it, he has the weapons for it. No questions asked.
Well, we'll continue to monitor that. Let's get into some of these divisions. So I'm going to do an actual question. You just confidence picks. New England Patriots 11-2 right now, head of the NFC East. Calvin, how confident are you that the Patriots will go to the AFC Championship? Coming out 11-2 right now, will they make it to the AFC Championship game?
No.
You only got 1 home game because you get the bye. They won't get it. They can't win one home game.
No, the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, because if you the number 1 seed right now, that means you need to win 1 game in New England and you're in the AFC Championship game.
No.
How about you, Justin?
No, not at all. No question.
Wow. Okay. Buffalo Bills.
I mean, I'll say one more thing, just quickly. We don't know if Drake May is Tom Brady or not. He has to win said games that you're just talking about for us to say, like, oh, okay, they got another one, so he got to do it. I'm not going to expect him to do it right off the bat.
Okay. All right. Confidence picks. Calvin, the Buffalo Bills are 8-4 right now. Likelihood of them making the playoffs. Will they be the favorite to come out of the AFC because of the history of what we've seen from the Buffalo Bills?
Make the playoffs, just be the favorite, no.
Justin, who's your favorite? If Buffalo goes in, who do you have more confidence in out of the AFC? Let's say, and also caveat, like said,
Buffalo gets
Kansas City don't make it.
Yeah, Kansas City don't make it. Does Baltimore make it?
You tell me.
Okay.
Do they?
I'm gonna say this. If Buffalo makes it, they are the most dangerous team. Why? Because of one reason, and his name is Josh Allen. He's your MVP. You're not supposed to let certain people get to certain points in the season, and you let him.
Defense is terrible, but I'm supposed to be scared of it.
It don't matter.
Tell Pittsburgh
look, if they make the playoffs, they're a wild card. They can't win on the road. If they were at home, I give them a chance. But on the road, have you seen them? No.
Okay. Understood. I respect Josh a little bit more.
So let's be real then. You just told me New England can't make it to the AFC Championship game. That's what you told me.
Yes.
You told me Buffalo you don't have no confidence in them today, the favorite in the AFC.
No.
So New England, who's the favorite in the AFC? No Kansas City. New England, you don't have no faith in. Who's the favorite? You putting all your chips on Denver?
I have more confidence in Denver than in Denver at home than I do Buffalo on the road.
Denver is
and what's your evidence?
I don't look. I think Buffalo's defense is over. Buffalo's defense is bad. Buffalo plays poorly on the road. If you're telling me they're going to make the playoffs, that means they're a wild card. I don't think they're going to have a home game during the course of the playoffs. I don't like them playing on the road. That's my main point with Buffalo.
You don't
if
think
you told
Buffalo
me they were going to be home,
Jacksonville? You don't think Buffalo could go to Baltimore? You don't think Buffalo could go to?
I saw Jacksonville beat Kansas City in Jacksonville. On the road is the key. I don't think Buffalo will have a home game at home.
But
that's
Josh Allen in the playoffs, other than against Patrick Mahomes, who do you have more? And we're gonna do this when we look at it.
So what Josh Allen in the playoffs has made 2 AFC Championship games, and he's competed, but he's lost. So I'm supposed to have confidence in a 2-time loser.
I'm just asking.
That's what we're saying.
What has Trevor Lawrence done in the playoffs? What has Bo Nix done in the playoffs?
They ain't done nothing.
They ain't done nothing. I can go down the list. I ain't done.
They haven't done nothing. But I have more confidence in those teams versus Buffalo.
Versus the guy that can give you 6 touchdowns in a game. That's what you
say. So he'll give me 3 tush pushes and 3 20-yard pass touchdowns.
They all come
and the defense is going to give up 6 touchdowns too. Okay. Let's play the whole scenario out.
We haven't seen that.
Different. They got to perform the same way.
We haven't seen that.
But they're not at home. So why they're not at home? They may not be outside. Okay.
Do you like somebody? I'm asking you, confidence pick of all the quarterbacks who would be left.
So it's easily for me to say New England beats Buffalo and then New England loses the AFC Championship. That's more likely.
Who is New England losing to in the AFC Championship?
Denver.
You got this much confidence in Denver. That's my point. My question is, right now,
I have the most confidence in in Denver in the AFC.
So Denver's your Super Bowl pick.
They're my pick to represent the AFC if I had to choose right now.
All right. I just wanted to get this on record. I just want to get you got this much faith in Bo Nix, and who's the running back again?
RJ Harvey.
RJ, yeah.
Yeah, he's been lighting it up. That's right. All right. Justin. In the NFC, if I told you the Chicago Bears are going to the NFC Championship game, how confident are you in that?
Not confident enough.
And why?
What is their weakness? I am starting to believe him, but their weakness is their quarterback. I gotta see what Caleb does on the main stage. I gotta see what he does when it comes to crunch time games. We're not gonna act, and I'm not saying that they're the same team, but we're not gonna act like Minnesota was in this position last year, and then Sam Darnold went to bed, and they just completely derailed out the playoffs in a sense, right? Into the playoffs and then right out of the playoffs. Being a playoff quarterback matters. It's a whole different game. It's a whole different season. So you have to bring your best game, no errors, none of that. You have to play mistake-free football in order to win some of these games. And Caleb, he's still shaky. They're still in a work in progress. You hear it all the time. You hear it when you're watching the game. Oh, just wait till you get another season under Ben Johnson. Okay, I got to keep waiting. That's next year. That's not this year.
All right. Calvin, I'm going to ask you this one. If I told you San Francisco 49ers winning the NFC West, how confident are you in that?
Not confident at all. The Rams had a tiebreaker over them. I think Seattle's better than them as well. San Francisco, I don't trust Purdy. The defense is kind of banged up. They've gotten by with smoke and mirrors so far, but I think when they play better teams, they aren't able to compete. So no, I'm not confident in that at all.
Okay. Right now, name your winner of the NFC West. After Carolina just went and beat the Rams last week, East. I get it. West Coast going East. Are you same confidence level in the Rams? Less confident? More confident in Seattle? Where you at?
I got the Rams. They play the Cardinals twice in Seattle, once in that division. I think they could win those 3 games, and all they got to do is finish tied with the best record at that point because they'll have the division lead, the better division record than any other 3 teams. So I got the Rams.
Justin, who's winning the NFC North?
I was ready for the West. No doubt. I like that. Green Bay is not. Detroit might not now. I'm gonna go with Green Bay. That's what I'm gonna do.
You just said Green Bay is not. Then circle
because of what I just said about Caleb. I have to trust Caleb towards the end of the season to maintain his level. Like you said, they just won a game where he didn't play good at all. It was the fact that the running game stepped up. So I can't necessarily depend on that. I gotta see it to believe it for Chicago. Until I do that, I trust Jordan Love more than I trust Caleb Williams. I trust Jordan Love more than Jared Goff because they're struggling as well. Packers.
Mm-hmm. Well, while you at it, who you got winning the West then? You going Rams?
It was a very good point when it came to Arizona, the fact that the Rams play Arizona twice. Within the last 3 or 4 games of the season, if you tell me I got Arizona twice, whoever that team is, if you tell me Seattle still plays them twice, I'll go with Seattle. But I don't think they do. I think it's the Rams only. Rams get that. Shout out to Arizona.
Will the Cowboys make the playoffs?
No. Too much ground to cover. I mean,
you got,
but you look at this. Like, look, they have Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle, San Francisco ahead of them, and there are only 3 spots. And I just named 4 teams. So, and I didn't even count Carolina, and they lost to Carolina, so they lose the tiebreaker to Carolina as well. So,
all right. Well, who's your 3 wild cards? This will tell me a lot right here. This will tell me everything I need to know. Who's your 3 wild cards?
Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle.
You still got Detroit.
Yes. Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle.
Justin, who's your 3?
What's the Cowboys' remaining schedule? I need to know that.
I'm looking
at it right. Lions,
Vikings, Chargers, Commanders,
and Giants.
They could win every but one game. If they beat the Lions tomorrow, they could run the team. Because the Chargers, Justin Herbert got a broken arm or broken hand or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Philadelphia's going to be in a wild card. I think Dallas catch them.
Whoa!
I think Dallas catch them. Let's have some fun, man. I believe Philly ain't the same Philly, man. And the Cowboys on a heater. Like you said, if it wasn't for that necessarily that tie game, they might be 7-5, just one game behind in a sense, right?
So how does two questions. One, how does that what's the next tiebreaker if you're tied? Because how does it just common opponents? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Again, we'll get into all that, but that tie thing really sucks.
But I guess so. Look, Dallas has lost to Green Bay, has lost to Carolina.
That's a good loss now.
Detroit depends. If you lose to Detroit tomorrow, that's another team that's ahead of you with a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see win Thursday night. I can see them being 11-5 and not making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, I guess if they're 11-5, that means they beat Detroit, and that means Detroit
would be
can only go. Well, they can go 11-6, but they would have.
And I think Detroit still got a game, like some tough games left in their division.
Detroit has a game against Green Bay.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, I stand by that. I believe Philadelphia is going to lose at least 2 more games, and I think Dallas.
I think that who are they losing to? Sleeping on. I think the team y'all are sleeping on is the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's going to play spoiler for some people. I see it. Check their schedule, but I think the 49ers can make a run. Who they got?
Titans, Colts, Bears. Seahawks.
Bears might be tough. Seahawks might be tough. But if they win 3, if they go, 11? No, that's 12-5. 12-5 get you in. They can get in. They can get in.
This is their bye week.
Yeah. They can get in. They can get in. So,
and I'll say this, JD5 is coming back. I know, and Philadelphia has Commanders at least 2 more times.
They do have them 2 more times.
I'll be
JD5 is going to say, Philadelphia, y'all took us out of the playoffs last year. We gonna take y'all from the
I'd
number one spot.
I'd be more scared to Mariota than 85 at this point.
Nah.
But
I mean, you haven't seen that offense healthy. Like, you haven't seen him and McLaurin healthy yet this year.
McLaurin looked good the other night.
That's why I say you haven't seen both of them healthy yet this year.
You know what I'm saying?
And they got a decent 1-2 punch at running back too. So
yeah, they won't play spoiler.
Running game ain't all that for them.
I said decent.
So Calvin
was good.
Does Carolina upset the Bucs
for the division?
Mm-hmm.
No. They got two games against them.
Schedule?
They got 2 games against them, Tampa Bay or
those are head-up matchups.
Yeah, they got 2 games against them. Tampa Bay, you said because the Carolina schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina has the Saints, Bucks twice, and the Seahawks, so they could lose 3 of those 4.
Could.
And the Seahawks game, the Seahawks a home game, so
coming from West to East.
Yeah, but it could be a Saturday. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday night. So
we just saw that. Oh yeah, that's better. That is better. It's not 1 o'clock. All right, just interesting stuff. So again, right now, this picture it doesn't mean much. Everything. A lot of these teams are tied or right then and there.
To the Bears being number 1 though.
Let's return the favor and ask you a question. Is Chicago going to win the division?
Chicago Bears will not win the NFC North. No, that's fair. I had the Green Bay Packers. I don't like that tie.
Really?
I don't like that tie.
Oh, really? You got Jordan Love.
I don't know the status of Amon-Ra St. Brown. If I knew if he was going to be healthy or not, that would change my opinion. But you saw that offense without him, and he just is such a focal point of what they do on a regular basis that I don't think you just take that person like that out and think, just everything's just going to be the same. I think Green Bay, they've proven themselves. Jordan Love has not been turning the ball over this year. I give him credit for that. In years past, that's been an issue. Anything else, sir?
No.
Yeah.
Just want to hear you throw some praise to Jordan Love.
Let's take a look because I said we would do this from time to time. We're going to look back at our prediction. No, let's save that for next week. Let's give it another week under the belt before we bring that back up because I don't want to, hold you all up. But let's get into these picks. Last week, Calvin won one game. The Broncos. I've never seen nothing like this before. I won 2 games, the Bills and the Broncos. And shout out to Justin, his first victory of the year. 49ers, Texans, and Broncos giving him the win for the week. Congratulations. Brings the count to me and Calvin tied at 46 again. Justin at 35. Man, we just can't get no separation from one another. Let's see if that happens this week. Let's kick it off. I'll start this off. Cowboys and Lions on Thursday Night Football in Detroit Indoor Stadium. Again, don't know the status of what's going on with St. Brown. I just think the Cowboys are the hottest team in football right now. Now, of course, what will happen is everybody's getting on this Cowboys train, and then they go into Detroit, and Detroit runs the ball down there after we've been praising this Cowboys run defense, and that's typically what happened. But if St. Brown was playing, I would go with him. But let me double check that first. Is St. Brown playing or not? Is he out for a couple weeks?
He's questionable. And it's a short week, so I would assume.
Yeah, he's playing.
Well, no, it's not a short week. They play
Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I just think they're hot. I think they're playing with more continuity on both sides of the ball. I have more confidence in the Cowboys. Calvin, who you got?
I have picked against the Cowboys the last 2 weeks, and they have won. So I've been wrong. I'm gonna go. You give Detroit time to change their offense with no St. Brown. They're gonna be able to run the ball more. They're gonna get the ball to Gibbs more. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm gonna go with a high scoring game. I'm going with Detroit though.
I know what you're trying to do, Justin.
In the words of Skip Bayless. How about them Cowboys? Let's pick them to win, man. Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Cincinnati coming off a big win over the Ravens last week. The Bills are destruction of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Calvin, who you got?
I'm going Cincinnati. You get T. Higgins back. You got Jamar Chase. You got your QB back. This offense is whole for whatever that means. I'm not. I spoke on it earlier. I'm not a fan of Buffalo defense, and I don't think Buffalo can score enough to kill Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati.
Justin, who you got?
For interesting purposes only, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. I just want to see what happens, man. I just want to see Cincinnati go on the high street and just make things muddy, just muddy some things up. And I think they're the team to do it, man. Josh gonna have to come prepared. He's gonna have to come and play lights out. He's gonna have to get the receivers involved. But Chase just had a 10 catch type of game. He believes Joe Burrow's back. Joe thinks he's back. Chase Brown had a decent game rushing the ball. Bengals might be back, man.
Yeah, but
let's go with the Bengals.
I hear you, but I know Calvin just hate Josh Allen and the Bills, so he's gonna pick the opposite regardless, and ignore the fact that yes, the Bills defense isn't great against the run, but they are pretty damn good against the pass. Look at the numbers, and then they just went out and added the corner that Pittsburgh Darius Slay. They have a pretty good pass defense. I think they'll be fine. I think the offense is what the key is. What the Ravens didn't do last week was run the ball, and I have full confidence that the Bills will run the football against the worst run defense in the league. So I'm going with the Bills.
In the league.
Worst defense, period. I'm going with the Bills
14 points
at home. Let's go. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Justin, who you got?
All right.
Is he there? Justin. Yeah. I still just like, are we all like playing a still game? I don't think he knows what's going on now. All right, Calvin, who you got?
Seattle. I don't care what's the East. This Atlanta offense with Kirk Cousins is that's your boy. They're just not good right now.
I don't know, man. We just saw this story, but yeah, I like Seattle. Seattle's defense has done me well in fantasy. They've done me well. Yes. I'm going with the Seahawks. Justin, put your hands in the chat. We ain't got time. Let's keep it moving. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Baltimore, take on the Ravens. Got to be honest with ourselves. Look, in all actuality, I don't have the confidence in this Ravens offense to say with my chest that they will win this game. Yes, I'm picking the Ravens. Of course, I'm picking the Ravens. But they need to get back to playing Ravens football. And like I said, with the Philadelphia Eagles, that starts with the running game. Run, play action off of it, and Lamar has to be accurate when it's time to throw. Some of the same criticisms y'all make about Jalen Hurts, that's what you're seeing from Lamar Jackson this year. True. Let's be honest. That's when the run game isn't clicking and he's not moving and able to use the RPOs to his advantage, he looks like a totally different quarterback. Offensive line, same issue in Philly. Not protected, not open up those run lanes. We see a different offense. So the pass rush of the Steelers are going to be hunting. They're going to be coming to try to prove a point. They were embarrassed. They were made fun of. They playing for their coach's job. They're going to come out with some type of vitriol, with some type of personal pride. But the Ravens have to be better. Period. I'm going with the Ravens at home. What's your thoughts?
Look, if this Ravens team does not run the ball at least 40 times, I'm not talking about yards per carry. If they don't at least attempt 40 runs with their running backs. Now I'm talking about design runs by Lamar with their running backs, then we have to start talking about the OC, and that has to be a conversation at some point. Regardless of what the line does, regardless of how Lamar's injury status, you should run the ball this week. I think if this was any other game in the division, I don't know if I'll pick the Ravens, but this is a rivalry game, and your season's on the line at this point. Because if you lose this game, I think their chance of making the playoffs go from like 70 to 20%, something like that. The Ravens win this ball game. The Ravens run the ball. The Ravens control the clock. And maybe even more so, Mason Rudolph is playing quarterback. So I think that accounts for something as well. But I had the Ravens win this ball game. I think it'll be a low scoring game because of the amount of carries and maybe the lack of yards. We're going to get sunny weather, so I don't have to worry about the weather. But I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, this is tough, man. They better come through. Next up, Indianapolis Colts travel to Jacksonville, take on the Jaguars. The AFC South is up for grabs. Jags technically have a tiebreaker right now. They sit in the top of the division.
I thought they were game back. I thought Jacksonville. I thought they had 7 wins for some reason.
I think they up. You can go back a couple slides. Jacksonville 8-4.
8-4. Okay. Look, I don't know if James Jones is healthy, but Jonathan Taylor can easily win this ball game by himself on his carries. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville because the defense has been playing better. I don't know the stats of Sauce Gardner. The connection with Lawrence and is it Brent Strange, the tight end in Jacksonville, has been pretty good recently since he came back off of IR. The 1-2 punch in the backfield has been good as well. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville because they're at home. I'm going with Jacksonville.
I've picked Indianapolis. The last 3 weeks,
they lost 2 of them.
They lost 2. Very disappointing. They lost to the Steelers. I lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, I thought they played well. So it's been longer than that. They lost to the Steelers.
They had a bye because they played Atlanta the first week of November, and I think they had a bye after that.
And then last week's game, while the injury can be used to excuse some of the weight, part of the issue is Jonathan Taylor has not been himself. He's not been utilized. I thought Daniel Jones didn't pass the ball terribly last week. I just think Jacksonville is an enigma. I can't put my finger on exactly what do they do very well. Travis Etienne, I think, has had a good year, solid year. Nothing great, nothing spectacular. I don't think Trevor Lawrence has gotten some of the well-known players the ball on a consistent basis where you make like, oh, that's why they're winning. I can't put my finger on it. So while we're waiting for Justin to come back, I'm trying to think of reasons why I can go with the Colts again. But
you really are stalling.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts. I am. I got to give them one more chance, man. Got to. Let's go. Next up, the Chicago Bears travel to Green Bay. Man, some big games, man. And these games, if you looked at the schedule before the year, some of these games we're looking at now, we did not think they would mean anything. But these are big games. True. Chicago travels to Green Bay. Look, I like what Chicago's done. They're ahead of schedule, in my opinion. Ben Johnson has really turned this ball club around. But right now, Green Bay, I think, is prime and ready. I think the defense is humming. I think the offense is starting to click. They got their receivers back. Yes, you miss your tight end. But I think if they can run the football, not allow that Chicago team to run all over them like they did Philly last week, I think Green Bay will be in good shape. I'm going with the Packers at home. Who you got?
Green Bay has not played well in some of their bigger matchups this year. See the Eagles game scoring 7 points. See the Panthers game the week before that when they had back-to-back losses. And even see the Dallas game early in the season when Dallas was really one-dimensional. I think CD didn't play in that game as well. I think they're rounding into form. They've had a good performance on Thanksgiving. They got 10 days off. They're getting healthy. I'm going to go with Green Bay. I think Chicago has the ability to control the clock with their running game, kind of like how they did in Philly. But Green Bay has something that Philly didn't have, and that's Michael Parsons. And he can kind of turn the ball over if your quarterback starts to get a little happy feel. He can make a play in the backfield on your running back. And I think he makes a play. He's the first player, I think, in NFL history with 12 sacks in their first 5 years in the league. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Green Bay in this matchup. They are home. This is for the division lead because they're in second place. So I'm going to go Green Bay.
Yeah. Next up.
Another one.
Might be the game of the week, in my opinion.
Another one.
The Houston Texans travel to Kansas City. Go on the road to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And this is a must-win for the Chiefs. I know we say that, we throw that phrase around, but legitimately, the Chiefs have to win this ball game. This is a team that they're fighting for a wild card. This is a team in the AFC who has competitive wins against over teams that you're fighting for tiebreakers in situations with as well. Man, who you got, Calvin?
Last week I picked against Kansas City. I picked Kansas City, for Dallas. 2 weeks ago, I went against Kansas City. They're at home. Now, Houston arguably has the best defense in the league. Kansas City's at home. Their backs against the wall is a must win. I think their offense can do enough against the Houston defense. I don't know if Houston's offense can do enough against the Kansas City defense, even though I'm not saying that they played well. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. This is a tough one because Houston has played well against Buffalo. They beat Buffalo on Thursday night a couple weeks ago. They just beat Indianapolis. They're beating contenders right now. Houston's playing really well, especially on defense. I'm gonna go Kansas City though.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I said, I don't know, man. I really like what I've been seeing out of this Kansas City, this Houston team. And I almost picked them against Buffalo. I said, I'm right there. I just don't know if I can do it. You know what I mean? I was thinking about it, but I just wasn't sure. But at this point, I've seen enough, man.
Picking Houston?
I'm going with the Houston Texans on the road with the upset. I just think that defense is just hunting too much.
If this was at home, I think I would pick Houston. But in Kansas City,
we saw
they won against Indianapolis in Kansas City.
It was close though.
It was close. They lost to Dallas in Dallas. So if it was at home, I would probably go Houston. But I'm gonna give Kansas City the benefit of the doubt at home in Arrowhead. So
we've seen Kansas City lose 2 in a row, right? They lost 2 in a row.
No, they beat Indianapolis at home. They lost 2 out of 3 because did they lose to Buffalo week before that, or was that a while ago?
That was 2 weeks ago.
No, they lost 3 out of 4.
It was 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
they lost to Denver and they lost to Buffalo.
Denver beat them. Yeah, Denver beat them.
They lost 3 out of 4.
Now I'm going with Houston, man, because I could. That's the comp to me. Denver. That's the comp. I know the game was in Denver, but I think that defensive line for the Houston Texans is just hunting, man. They are hunting. And I know they gave up some points last week, but for the most part, they've been consistent, man. I'm going with Houston on the road. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles traveled to L.A. to take on the Chargers. Look, Justin Herbert, we don't know his status completely yet. Actually, the Chargers need this game. If they want to hold off Kansas City in the wild card, try to make a play for that division, which is still kind of up in the air, not really outside chance, but you definitely want a wild card. They need to win this game. Philly trying to hold off Dallas on the road. I'm going with the Eagles. This to me, it ain't that difficult of a decision. I'm going with the Eagles on the road.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. The Chargers O-line's been taking the beating, though they got both their tackles out. Both of their starting running backs have been out as well. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. I don't know the status, like you said, of Justin Herbert, but if he does play, I think he's just gonna be running for his life. Like you said, Philadelphia needs this matchup. I think they need it more than the Chargers because they've lost 2 in a row, and they got to kind of get back on that Super Bowl winning mentality. So I got Philadelphia.
Yeah, they got to get off that schneid. So Justin, real quick, before I think the last game you picked was Seattle, and no, you were trying to speak. Who you got? Seattle and Atlanta.
Seattle.
Ravens, Steelers. Got the Steelers. I figured it. Colts, Jags.
Colts.
Bears, Packers.
Packers.
Texans, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Eagles, Chargers.
Eagles.
All right, so we're pretty much in line. So some big matchups this week, guys. I mean, look, at the end of the day, everybody's fighting for their playoff life. Anything can happen in those types of scenarios. It will be interesting. We got what y'all think about Shedeur, how he looked last week against the 49ers, and some of the things around that real quick before we move on. Calvin?
He looked like a rookie quarterback. That defense made it tough on him. Wasn't really able to throw the ball downfield, and he looked bad on offense. But he looked like a rookie quarterback. So,
yeah, Justin.
I don't like Jerry Jeudy. Like you're not that guy to be talking to Shador like that. Like not you. Saying especially after you fumbled the ball last week in a sense. So no, I don't like that aspect of it, and I don't think Shador cares for him too much. The way he just kind of brushed him off in a sense. So I didn't see that action towards Dylan Gabriel. I don't like that. So
you know what it is.
Yeah, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we'll keep it moving. Just a quick look at fantasy. Things happen. Congratulations to all three of us got a win this week. Hey, Justin, man, you making a surge, buddy. I give you credit. Calvin had the most points in the league this week with 383. Great win, helping me out, keeping some separation between Leonard and me. I appreciate the assist, my good friend. I am far and away the best team in the league, as I should be. Had a good bounce back week.
You're 0-2 against me. What's that?
Doesn't matter. First place, sitting very comfortably in first place, clinching. So Calvin, you look like you're in contention, man. It looks like you're in there. So I think the playoffs are pretty much set, aren't they?
Yeah, starting 2 weeks? This is week 13 or 14?
It's 14 coming up. Yeah,
starting next week.
Yeah. Justin on a little 1 game winning streak. But hey, you doing your thing, man. How you feeling? How was the week for you?
It's a lot of L's next to the people that's above me and people that's below me. So the fact that I got a win out of that, I'm okay with that. And my team turning the corner, man. It is what it is. Preparing for this playoff push.
100%. I'm going to hold out hope that everybody on my team is fighting for the playoffs at the end of the season. Nobody's resting because they're so good. I don't have any Patriots on my team. I don't have anybody, who's going to clinch anything. So
that's the only team that's really running away with something.
Yeah, so hopefully things will stay competitive all the way down the stretch. Let's move into some NBA. Look, man, real quick before we get into some of these big stories, Luka Doncic was the player of the week in the Western Conference last week, averaging 37 points a game, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. In the Eastern Conference, Jalen Brunson averaging 28, damn near 5, 40% from 3. Good weeks from both of these gentlemen. But I think Jalen Brunson really needs Jaylen Brown deserves a shout out. That man has been balling in the East. So we'll see how that
week this week.
Yeah, he has to be so far. For the month, they named the October, November because you didn't play the whole month October. For October, November in the West, Nikola Jokic averaging 28, damn near 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. A triple-double for the month. Cade Cunningham averaging 28, 6, and 9. Phenomenal. These are great performances and look, I remember it. Justin, you called it. You said Cade would be that guy who takes that next step. Calvin said it was going to be Paolo. That hasn't come to fruition. But Cade definitely had. What's your thoughts on what you've been saying out of Cade Cunningham thus far this season, Justin?
Well, we just got a dub against no, I'm sorry. I was watching Detroit versus Atlanta. I'm sorry. Last night. And it was a tough game. It was a tight game in a sense. But when you saw the fact that Cade almost had 5 stats over 5 in a sense. So he had plus, he was filling up the stat sheet, offense, defense, blocks, steals, all that. And he scored like the last 2 buckets for him, and it was easy. It's like he was just playing with Atlanta in a sense, Paul. So he's starting to turn that corner. This team is starting to turn that corner to, I don't even take every game serious because I know that I got Cade and y'all don't. And that's how good Cade Cunningham is. That's
what's up. What's your thoughts on what you've been seeing, Calvin?
Just based off this graphic, I'm not going to knock Jokic, but can we say that he shouldn't be Western Player of the Month? Can we get some love to Shea? That 21-1. I been averaging 32, 5, and 5. Look, and he beat Denver. That's the only thing I got to say about that. I'm just saying we gotta get some love to OKC.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because records are important. I'm not saying they're not. But when you're averaging a triple-double, does that not deserve acknowledgement? I mean, from a consistency basis. And you're not just averaging a triple-double, 10, 10, and 10. This man averaging damn near 30.
Okay, that's fine. Is 32,
for the
5,
month,
and 5.
Not for the week.
Is 32, 5, and 5 impressive as well?
Very much so.
If I beat you head to head, should that account for something as well?
Yeah, that's what gets you NBA championships.
If we're a month and a half into the season, and the only loss they had was to Portland on a back-to-back, which
I think that would be impressive in the stat sheet.
That's all I'm saying.
And they can go get the all right. I hear you. I get you. I get your point. I'm not going to even argue it. So my question is Shea the closest thing we've seen to Michael Jordan? From a pure, consistent scoring, defensively, every facet that you can have, is Shea the closest thing we've seen to Michael Jeffrey Jordan? I ain't talking about the swagger. I ain't talking about the intangibles off the court. I ain't talking about marketing. I'm talking about purely basketball. Or is it what's his comp? Give me a comp. Go ahead, Calvin.
I think he's Michael Jordan without the athleticism. I'll say that. If you want to, if you want to say who's the most comparable to Anthony Edwards in the league, to Michael Jordan in the league right now, is Anthony Edwards, in my opinion. And he has a better shot at this age than Michael Jordan had at that age of his career. From a pure scoring standpoint and ways to get the ball in the bucket from the mid-range, I give Shea that, but he doesn't have the athleticism of Jordan. When he gets to the basket, it's more of a drawing fouls versus trying to get buckets type thing. He averages about 10, 11 free throws per game. He's making about 80% of those. So I think that part of his game is like Jordan, but from all around, I'm going to give it to Anthony Edwards.
I mean, I get what you're saying from a style of play perspective, but I'm asking you from a killer instinct. I'll give it to you night in and night out.
Still Anthony Edwards. I have no problem with Anthony Edwards' killer instinct. You want to say he's immature, he jokes around. Yes, but from a when it's between the lines, when he
and
wants
Shea's
to,
a winner. Like I think that also matters. What you think, Justin?
Is Shea the closest thing to Jordan?
Yeah. That we got in this game today.
I mean, it's a different level of dominance. In my opinion, Jordan was a little bit more. That's a good question.
They 21-1. I mean, are they 20? What are they?
21-1.
Yeah, and they are
defending champion.
They got a shot, and they're defending champion, and it was without Jalen Williams. I'm just not going to put. I can't put nobody in that category.
I get it, and I know that's blasphemy. You talking Kobe, you talking that type of level. But what I'm saying is, if you look at how the man plays, and I get Calvin, you say he don't dunk and all that kind of stuff like Jordan did, so he don't give you those air-defying plays that we come to know and expect from.
He's not must-see TV.
He's not, and that's why I say from an intangible. So I was going back to the point you just tried to make. All right, when I showed you who was the Western Conference Player of the Month, and I said it's Nikola Jokic. You said, "Well, how could give SGA some love?" And I'm not disagreeing with you, but at the end of the day, this is still sports entertainment, and is SGA missing that extra? I don't know, because for me, if you just look at his pure basketball, his scoring, his defense, his winning, his attitude, his how he takes it serious night in and night out. He doesn't miss games.
Then they're perfect.
What can he do? And he give you 30 every night. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Calvin.
Yeah, look, I see what you're saying, but like I said, I think the athletic piece of it is very important when you're talking about comparables to Michael Jordan, because we think about the highlights, we think about the dunks, we think about that stuff when we come to Michael Jordan. So I think that becomes a huge part of it. If you say strictly scoring, that's why I'm okay with saying
and defense
SGA. I still go with Ant though, because I feel like Ant in that position could put up the same numbers if he's in the same situation. He just doesn't have the players around him to take away the load defensively, and even to put him in a better place of scoring wise because he has those same weapons around him. So I still think
that. Hold on now. The thing about Shea is, and the difference between Shea and Ant is the fact that Ant settles for the 3 a lot. You know, he doesn't necessarily want to get fouled. He doesn't want to go through that.
He shoot damn near 40%. So okay, I'll take that.
Okay,
but like I said, he shoots better than Jordan.
But that's why I asked, because Jordan wasn't a big 3-point shooting guy. Shea not a big. They still put up a lot of points and from the mid range, like going to the cup with layups. I mean, Jordan was a dunker, but go ahead, Justin, finish your point.
And the reason why I brought it up because what that does for your defense is when you shoot a trade, cool, bet you're in transition defense. Let's see if they can score on that. But when you score and a lot of a percentage of your points comes from the free throw line, that means it's longer to take the ball out. You have more time to set your defense up. It's actually advantageous towards you and everybody else. Agreed. So if he does that, and that's a part of his game, and the fact that you see him all day, and he's there, or he's a bit of a safer case than Ant-Man. It is what it is. I would probably want to play with someone that's going to the free throw line. Someone that might probably will pass me the ball a little bit easier. Those kind of things.
I'm really just trying to examine this man's career thus far, and I get it. It's still early. He only got 1 title, but on this trajectory, if he stays this, man, I don't know his comp. I don't know it. A lot of his comps don't have rings. They don't have like the MVP awards and the championships to go along with it. So I just, for his frame and his I don't know, man. This is something to look at. I think for me, he's in that Kobe, Jordan type of category from that perspective. But I get it. The dunks, he's not a dunker. Like, this is not something you.
That's honestly what it is.
That's the only thing. So very interesting. Let's take a look. The NBA Cup is kind of warming up now. Calvin, your Lakers
next week, right?
Yeah, your Lakers are in it. I believe the bracket is pretty much set. They had some games. I think they're tonight and Friday, I believe, or is it Thursday and Friday? I didn't get a chance to really look into deep on that, but these are updated standings. I know some games tonight. But let's get into one question I did have before we get too far. There was a report came out today that Giannis is looking to be traded, but then Doc Rivers refuted that report, saying that it wasn't true. He never asked me. Yeah,
he's the coach. He's the coach.
Doc Rivers refuted that, said that's not true. ESPN putting out false information, and then all of a sudden tonight, Giannis left the game with a little calf issue. I'm not saying everything's connected. Something don't smell right there.
So he's not going to play another game in Milwaukee.
That's what I kind of felt. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Calvin?
I think with that smoke, there's fire. Shams had the report that he's meeting with Bucks officials about his future, and then it comes out Wendy says his choice is to go to New York, and there was also a rumor he doesn't want to go to the West. I don't know how true that was, but I think.
Would you want to?
I mean, if you could. I think if you can go to OKC or San Antonio, based off the assets they have, I don't see a problem with it. But yeah, I think Giannis is out of there. I think he's done the city well. He got him a ring, got him 2 MVPs. I don't know where his next destination will be. I think there's about 4 or 5 different teams that can trade for him, but it'll be interesting to see how the power dynamic shifts once Giannis is out of Milwaukee on a contender. But I think he's gone by the trade deadline.
Justin,
it's time to start that New York hype again. That is the number 1 team that everyone keeps tagging them to. Brian Windhorst said that was New York. That's what he said.
I got the assets, in my opinion.
The assets are Karl Anthony Towns and pray that we muscle them into taking somebody else that they don't want. Because it is what it is.
Well, I heard if that happens, then y'all got to take Kuzma.
That as long see that with that situation, OG is on the table. We gotta take OG off. I'm not getting up OG. It is what it is. Josh Hart and anybody else, cool. Yeah, I don't even want Mikal Bridges to go you, but yeah, definitely not OG. And OG keep getting floated in those rumors. We need OG. OG's one of those dudes that fill up the stat sheet for us, that does so many things defensively that we'll be lost without him, in a sense, right? But it's called Anthony Towns and Josh Hart, and hopefully we can throw in something else and call it a day. And we got to muscle. It is what it is. We got to muscle Milwaukee. We'll see. We'll see with all that Milwaukee. I want to try to make the best deal for you, Jonas. I'm sorry that we went through this. We couldn't work things out. Well, this is where he wants to go, and this is what we're willing to give. We don't need him. But if you want them and you want some access, there you go. Take it.
Okay. Calvin, what's been catching your eye around the league?
Like I said, let's talk about the play of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The play of Atlanta without Trae Young when he was injured is just really caught my eye, because I think that starts to lead to rumors about life post Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks and some of that, and they have a ton of young talent. Boston's turned it around as well. I thought Boston would have kind of packed it in early, maybe try to get the playoffs, try to get a high draft pick. But like you said, Jaylen Brown's been playing phenomenal basketball as of recently, and he's just playing like the number one that he believes he could be. Houston really bounced back as well with no KD over the last couple games or so. It's a lot of good storylines, in my opinion. So a lot of teams that are playing well. Orlando, one of the teams that I follow, that I picked, has turned around as well. The last time we talked,
without Paolo,
I believe they were under 500, and now they're starting to climb up that division in the Eastern Conference. So just a lot of good storylines.
Thanks to Wagner. Go ahead. Justin, what's been catching you out around the league?
Besides the trials and tribulations of New York, you know what I'm saying? We done shouted out Glorilla and Toronto's resurgence. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. Miami's playing very phenomenal. Cleveland needs to do a little bit more for me. And like I said, Boston, I really think that they think Tatum's coming back. I really do. And Jaylen Brown is finally playing the way I think he should have started the season. He should have started the season being that guy instead of being as passive as he was. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it was. Derek White and everybody else revolve around Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown needs to play better, and he has been as of late. And that's why they're creeping back into the playoff picture. I know it's the first 20-plus games or whatever, but they're creeping back into the top 10, and they're going to try to hold a fort and pray that Tatum is 100% when he comes back.
Yeah. Two things I'm very interested in. What's been happening with Aaron Gordon's been going down, but look, Jamal Murray dropped like 52 tonight. I think the Nuggets, I picked them to win the title. I'm holding on to that. I just think this team, if they stay consistent, OKC and Denver and the Western Conference Finals, it's going to work out pretty damn good. Now, the Lakers could play spoiler to that. I've been liking what I've seen from them the other night, notwithstanding, but that was after a back-to-back. They had been playing it like 4 games in like 5 days, something crazy, 4 days and 6 days. They had a little crazy schedule at Thanksgiving. But they've been playing pretty well. Luka's been sensational. Man, he's just been great, man. So good on him. But one thing that really caught my eye today was a move made by the Los Angeles Clippers deciding to cut Chris Paul, who went and signed with them only to say this was going to be his last year. He played for the Clippers, had some of his best years, his best years as a Clipper. And a lot of people assume he'd be retiring as a Clipper. But grumblings have come out that he and Ty Lue have not been on the same page, that he's aggressive. We've known that about Chris Paul for quite some time, going back to when Doc Rivers was there, which is why a lot of people thought they traded his ass out of there and got him to Houston. So this is not new. This is who Chris Paul was. But he played almost every game for the Spurs last year. So it's not like the guy wasn't playing basketball. Yeah. It just has not been getting playing time this year. Has not been being used by a bad Clippers team and Ty Lue. So there's a lot of things, kid. And I can't wait for a book to be written about the life of Chris Paul. What's your thoughts, Calvin?
Look, that is a very disrespectful way to get rid of a Hall of Fame, in my opinion. You're upset because he's criticized your coach, your management, your team, when he's been around the league long enough and knows what it takes to at least make the playoffs and have some success there. But for a team that has lost Bradley Beal, for a team that's lost Kawhi Leonard for most of the season, for a team that traded Norman Powell, they've made some bad roster decisions. And now you want to blame the 41-year-old who plays 7 minutes a game and be upset because he says we could be better than that. Good for Chris. Look, if Chris wants to go win a ring or wants to try to go win a ring now because he wasn't doing one in the LA Clippers uniform, good for him. You saw Shay's post on IG where he told him let's finish what we started in OKC.
Yeah.
If that's what he wants, I'm okay with that. He wants to go back to Houston. Look, he would get time there. He would get a couple minutes. So it couldn't have happened to a better organization than LA Clippers. I hope they send that pick for that pick to Oklahoma City too. Just mess up the league while we at it. Let's go.
Let me say this. Chris Paul, to me, look, this was rightfully done. I don't care, man. Chris Paul earned what just happened to him today. Apparently, he's an asshole. A lot of people have said it. Like, he just does not know how to just get along. Like, bruh, you're not in charge.
He'll wash the asshole. So make it different.
Job. Like, could you imagine LeBron going back to Cleveland and saying, I want to finish my career out in Cleveland, and Cleveland cutting him like a couple months into the season because he's too much of a distraction? You know what I mean? That's what just happened.
I can imagine that.
Just happened.
As long as Dan Gilbert the owner, yes.
You're supposed to be a future Hall of Famer, a great player, and you get cut? Like, I'm sorry, man. This is disrespectful. They might have to revoke his Hall of Fame pass for that.
Revoke his Hall of Fame. What?
Like, I know he got his little jacket for the Redeem team, but I don't know, dog. That's pathetic. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
Nah, it's not much to be said. It's just, he probably called out some BS that was going on, and they just didn't want to hear it. They just did not want to hear it.
Tired of it.
That was it. Look, we ain't gotta shit this to too much longer. He was talking ish, and he didn't have the cachet because he left the Clippers. It's not like he was there the whole entire time, and now it is what it is. So, shout out to Chris Paul, man. Hopefully you land with OKC.
Good luck to him. All right, college football playoff. The season is pretty much done. This is it, man. We're going to find out the championship games of this weekend. We got the SEC title game. You got the Big Ten title game. You got some big matchups coming up. And then we will determine who gets in, who's going to be in this tournament. Right now, you got that Indiana. Man, Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State has not won the Big Ten in quite some time, probably since the COVID year. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a while.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, again,
even last year they lost. Yeah.
This is going to be wild. What you got, man? What you think?
That Georgia-Alabama game and that Ohio State-Indiana game will shape this bracket, in my opinion. I think Oregon is the most dangerous team because ideally they won't win their conference. So they'll be the 5th team in to win that conference. So that they'll be the team that doesn't have a bye. But I think make the argument they're the best team in the football this year. They have one of the best quarterbacks. I guess Mendoza's probably number one for me. But I will ask you, what do you think about Lane Kiffin?
Oh my God. I think people are making this such a big deal. I honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I love college football. So to the point where this has been happening forever. How many times have we seen coaches take a job and say, okay, I love to hear, but because of the signing day.
In this case, the money.
It's the money, but you also know that signing day comes like next week. So, they should move signing day. Why can't you move signing day or recruitment day until maybe like further along into December, right? Because the semester about to end. It's like you have to, if you're going to take a job, you got to take it now so you can go out there and recruit these people. So it puts the people in a position where, look, LSU, it's a bigger school, buddy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm sure Ole Miss does a good job trying to put a fine program together. We're not talking about Jackson State You know what I mean? We talking about a great team who's battling for look, they number 6 on this ranking right now. So it's not like it's not a fine program. He did a hell of a job there. Do we like the way this is happening? No, but the NCAA could change this very easily by setting up parameters of when you can do this transfer portal, when you have to sign, changing these dates. So it doesn't put the kids in position where we're not even going to have our coach for our playoff game. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. Yeah. That's on the NCAA. That's not on an individual who trying to get paid. I'm sorry.
I completely agree. Look, the way the schedule is, signing day was today. The portal opens early January and is done before the national title game, all because of when the semester ends and when the semester starts.
Exactly.
You want them kids to be at that school for spring semester starts in late January. You have kids that enter into college early from high school so they could try to get higher on the depth chart for the next season. It's all based on the academic schedule. So you have a problem with this, talk to the NCAA.
Change it. Yeah, I agree. How you gonna hold me accountable? And he's not the only coach who just took a new job.
Nope.
They didn't have no problem firing James Franklin from Penn State.
100% right.
No problem.
LSU didn't have no problem firing Brian Kelly.
Like we just seen this. Like, why are we holding these individuals to a standard that these institutions are not held to? And I'm listening to Monty Jones, like Stephen A. I don't like Stephen A. But I did see a clip of him saying, "Hey, y'all blustering about this, but I don't care. Go get your money." I agree. Like in this case, these corporations looking out for themselves. These schools got mega money. They got these boosters and these people, and with the nil deals, these players can transfer you in a second. Yeah. Like, bruh, I built that program. Sure. Ole Miss wasn't like this juggernaut. When last time Ole Miss? Okay, I got a chance to go do something at LSU. Like, how many? That's a pipeline. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, stop it, man. I'm not holding him.
I heard somebody say, like, if you, whatever field you're in, if someone came to you and said, we're going to pay you $100K more and we're going to put you in a prime area to where you're going to flourish, and you're going to say no?
Woo! Like,
you're going to say no?
And y'all just mad because I'm doing it at this time. This is the time I have to do. And he wanted to coach the team,
they said,
and they didn't want to.
All right. Here I come. Hey, y'all sent that plane? Okay, let's go.
He said, look, I don't want to leave. I want to coach my guys. Nah, you can go. They kicked him out, essentially.
And they let the offensive coordinator, who's leaving to go with them, stay and coach.
Now, what sense does that make? So, no, I don't have no sympathy for them. That Ole Miss ain't no rinky-dink, junior college or nothing like that. They're a major school in the SEC like the rest of these schools. Oh, they in the SEC or they in the Are they in the Big 12?
Who? LSU?
Ole Miss is the SEC. Yeah. They're a big time school. Yeah. You don't like it? Beat me. You know what I mean? Like
you got a chance next year.
Yeah, he's gonna have to work to build the program back the way he wanted. But I'm just saying,
when you show up on a Sunday and then Monday you get the number one recruit, I think it was the best D lineman.
Thank you. LSU sells itself. Ole Miss, I gotta put some work in. You know what I mean? Like LSU. How many players in the league right now? Quarterback we just saw last week, Joe Burrow.
Name a whole offense.
Come on, man.
Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Come on, man.
Honey Badger.
That's like I got a chance
to Queen. We name everybody.
I got a chance to coach Ohio State or Michigan, and look, no disrespect to Texas.
I was going to say no disrespect to Maryland.
No, shit. Let's not in the same hemisphere. Or Wisconsin or something like that. Like, what? I think I'm going to Michigan, not Wisconsin. Sorry. Or Michigan State. Let's use the same thing. Michigan State want to give me a job, but Michigan want me. I think I'm going to Michigan.
Go Big Blue.
Let's stop acting like we talking about high school football at this point, guys. This is big money college athletics. Anyway, that's it. I don't know what happened to Justin. Maybe just things happen, but we're really with this man. There's a lot going on in sports. It's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite time of year because there's just so many storylines, so many things to discuss, and it's some good stuff, man. So NBA Cup warming up. We'll get into that next week. Really break that down. And some good NFL games this weekend.
We're talking Saturday games next week.
Yeah. Yeah, and some flex games too. So because there's a lot of to be determined games on the schedule going down the stretch.
This
So
college is done. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So which game you looking most forward to this weekend, NFL?
Besides Ravens, Ravens Steelers tomorrow, Detroit and Dallas. Well, these teams have had some history. We remember the game a couple years ago, the penalties and how Detroit thought they should have won. I believe that was in Dallas. And then they kind of beat them, or they did beat them last year. So it's a little mini rivalry for two teams that don't play each other or maybe won't play each other every year because they're in the same division. So I'm looking forward to that game. I think that sets the weekend off. And then they both had a week off. So they both had their normal rest. So it's not like one's on the short week. So Amon-Ra St. Brown has the best chance to play. I think that has the potential to be the highest scoring game in the weekend as well, even though it's on a Thursday. So I think that's the game I'm looking forward to.
Is this the last week for buys, right?
Yes.
I'm like, damn. Yeah. Shouldn't Thanksgiving buys be over by then? Like, that's crazy to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that Kansas City Houston game. That to me, that's going to have a lot of ramifications from that game. That's a good one. That's a real good one. That Bengals something.
The Bills,
yeah.
I guess I should have checked the weather for Buffalo this weekend. I know it snowed Monday.
Yeah, last weekend it did.
Yeah, so
it's supposed to snow here on Friday, but I don't think it's going to stick.
I think it's midday. Yeah, I think it's like the warmest part of the day. So yeah,
it'll be all right. Anyway, that's it for tonight. We appreciate you all tuning in. Be sure to check us out next week, 9:00 Wednesday night, right here. Get off the damn fence for Calvin. I'm Larry. We'll see you next week for another edition. Yeah, I don't know what. Get off the damn fence. Y'all have a good holiday.